On number 7 of sacrifices, and then we're going to move to the next section because this piece is pretty short. The offering of the firstborn. The offering of the firstborn. Now, remember, this is a new nation of people. They were slaves in Egypt for 430 years. Slaves to the Egyptians. Okay? And now God set them free from the Pharaoh, and he's teaching them now how to worship the real God, because the whole world was off. The whole world was practicing polytheism. The whole world was serving multiple gods, because after Adam and Eve lost their way, the world declined. And men were not in touch with the real God, so they called everything gods, especially things they didn't understand. If there was a tornado that landed in their day like it did the other day out here in New Orleans East, they would have said the gods are angry. And they would have all felt they must have done something wrong because the God tore up their house. Now somebody saying that now, God was mad at them. He showed them a lesson. No, God, tornadoes are a huge vacuum. And their job is to vacuum out heat to protect us all. And God has to drop them every now and then to keep us sustained. Now, that's why we ought to live wisely and not foolishly. Okay? So if you buy a home, what's the second thing you should buy? Insurance, right? And so most of the people that I met who live down there, they're not worried or concerned. Matter of fact, one of our royal boys lost their home down there, and I met his mother at McDonald's, and she was fine with it. She understands it's a process, you know, but she has what? Insurance, and she's ready to remodel her house and whatever. You know, these things come, and they what? They're just things, okay? So they're not a God, and God didn't do them no harm. He did what was necessary to protect us all, when you understand that, okay? So God is not out to get you every time something goes wrong, okay? If you roll over a nail in your car and get a flat, which you should have wisely, a spare tire. Now, if you don't have a spare, all right? All right, so God give us wisdom, okay, to live in this world. Now, let's look at this offering for the firstborn. What is this all about? This offering for the firstborn. Okay, now they were saved by God in Egypt, and y'all remember the last plague. What was the last plague? Who remembers the last plague that Pharaoh said, y'all get out? The firstborn. But their firstborns were spared. Y'all remember that? They were spared if they had the blood over the what? Doorpost. So in honor of that memory, God said the firstborn of everything belongs to the Lord. All right, in honoring God for sparing their children, sparing their firstborn animals and all of that. It was something to help them remember that God showed favor to them. Y'all remember in the sermon Sunday, not even a dog barked. Y'all remember that? So it was a great distinction from what was going on downtown Egypt that was going on in Goshen where the Israelites stayed. It was a total different view. Okay? Now, the tornado does remind me of that. Okay? Somebody didn't experience anything. Okay? And they had no clue what was going on over there. But when we saw it on the news, it was unbelievable, right? Okay, so can God show distinctions? All right? Can he use a tornado if he wanted to show some distinction? He's got the power of weather in his hands. So he could do it, but that's not why he did it. Everybody understand that? Okay, but I'm saying we have proof that that kind of thing can go on. But he spared everybody's life the other day. And if you don't want to say thank you, Lord, all those people was like, thank you, Lord. Every last one of them. One guy, he was a heavyset guy, and he said he picked his mama up to try to get to the restroom, but it was too late. And the storm came in, picked him and his mom off the floor. He threw his mother on the sofa, and the storm threw him outside. And he said, I knew I was dead. He said, I knew my mother was dead. But he said, he said, all I got is a little scratch on the back of my leg. He said, I thank him. Everybody understand that? So God, even though he had to handle what he had to handle, he didn't hurt nobody. All right, so God can do that. All right, let's look at this now. The first offspring of what? Every womb. So that means your animals too belongs to me. Untouched by the 10th plague, so now special to God. I want y'all to remember what I did down in Egypt. When the death angel rolled through, I want you to teach from generation to generation how good God was to us and how he spared our children and spared our animals. And I don't want you to ever forget it. And from now on, I want you to give an offering when you have your firstborn of anything. I want you to bring it to me. That one belongs to me. Okay? Including all the firstborn males of your livestock, whether from herd or flock. Y'all got that? All right, let's look at Exodus 34. We're still in 34. That's where we are. Exodus, if you're taking notes. 34th chapter, 19 through 20. Let's look at 20. It says, redeem the firstborn donkey with a lamb. Now, and the reason he said, now, it's the firstborn donkey, and you might want the donkey because you need the donkey. What did they use donkeys for back then? No, not travel. What they use a donkey for? Huh? For work, right? Yeah, a donkey could pull a load, right? So you need your donkey. He said, now what I'm going to allow you to do is redeem it. In other words, you're presenting your donkey because it's the firstborn. I'll let you buy it back. What you got to give? Give a lamb. You got plenty of them. They don't do no work, right? So you need the donkey, and you rather give the what? Lamb instead of the donkey, so you can redeem it. But if you do not redeem it, right, break its what? Neck. Redeem all your firstborn sons. All right, now Samuel's mother gave him to the priest, and he stayed. Okay, but if you want your son back, because you also need your son, why you need your son in those days? Work. We have children just to have children, and that's why we complain about them. But in those days, the more children you had, the better, okay, because they were free working hands. Do I have a witness in here? All right. See, in today's time, what technology does for us, it deceives us, okay? We don't even wash dishes no more. Okay, we put them in the what? Dishwasher, and we call that work. Man, gotta put these dishes in the dishwasher. Oh, Lord, I'm so tired. Right, we make that a task. Right, we don't even wash clothes no more. My grandmother washed clothes like this, and then had to go outside and hang them on the line. We don't even want to put it in the washing machine. Oh, goodness gracious. I'm so tired of washing. Somebody say, put the towels in the dryer. Oh, God. I got to put them in there and push that button. I'm tired. But back then, you needed your son, all right, to work. Okay, so redeem all your firstborn on sons on the 8th day after their birth. No one is to appear before me what? No one is to appear before me what? Listen, let me talk to you right now on the behalf of the business side of our church. It's a sin. Now I'm going to add, that's God's side of it. It's a sin in my part and a shame. Y'all got it? For you to come to church empty-handed. Did y'all hear what I just said? I'm going to say it again. It's a sin. Y'all see it right there. So it's a sin, and your pastor saying it's a shame for you to come before God with no offering. Just like when you get up in the morning to come to church, you should already have planned what you're going to give. Don't come in there talking about, oh, I ain't got no cash. Y'all hear what I'm saying? I would have gave something. You need to have that already figured out before you get here, because God said, don't come before me, what? Empty-handed. And you ought to come here prepared to give. How? According to how God have what? Come on now, y'all looking at me crazy. How many of y'all blessed by the Lord? I dare you not raise your hand, because God can show you. They have kids in Africa, they don't have nothing, but they willing to give. Okay? So it's a sin and a shame. He said, no one is to appear before me empty-handed. This is to remind them that they all had a gift to bring before the Lord. All right? Okay, go ahead. All right, so that's the offering of the firstborn. And it was simply to help them to remember what God had done for them in Egypt. Everybody got that one? That's an easy one, right? That's done. All right, let's review quickly. We started out talking about the correct way to sacrifice, because God is particular and you don't know how to worship him. All you know is what the world is doing. Now I need to teach you how to properly approach me. So we started with the burnt offering. Come on, quickly. Who can tell me what the burnt offering was for? Anyway. Atonement for general sin. You're born and shaped in iniquity. You have to bring an atonement. If you've never did anything wrong in your life, you still need Jesus Christ. Does everybody understand? I was good all my life. I was a good boy. I was in church since I was an infant. You still need Jesus, or you're going to hell. Okay, because you are a sinner. David said, I was born and shaped in iniquity. In other words, you don't have to teach a 2-year-old how to lie. My grandbaby, 1 year old, where's she at? Journey. And we were in the church van, and I said, Journey, sit on the seat. She looked at me, and then she was slipping off the seat with her eyes like that. Now, I said, now who taught her how to sneak? See, you come here with that. So I had to spank that pamper, you know what I'm saying? And she was like, I was so wrong for that. But what I'm trying to tell you is we're shaped, and we come here knowing how to do the wrong thing. We have to learn how to do right. So everybody needs Jesus Christ generally because you were born. Simply because you are alive, you need Jesus. So the burnt offering represented that. Okay? But we need Jesus for more than that. The grain offering is for what reason? I can't hear y'all. Come on, everybody in Bible class. Listen, now God ain't pleased with you because you're sitting on the seat. He wants you to learn, okay? So the grain offering was for a reason. Everybody say dedication. Dedication and commitment. In other words, he saved me. Now I'm committed to what I do for God. I'm committed to it. I'm going to give. I'm going to give and support God's program. Everybody with me? All right, so that's above your sin, your general sin. Now you're saying, I'm with this. All right, the next offering is your peace offering. It represents what? Peace, fellowship between you and God. That's the only offering you are allowed to share. Y'all remember that? You can sit down and eat this one because it's a fellowship meal. It's meaning that me and God now are what? Okay, we're back what? Together again. We can fellowship together. So I'm bringing an offering for that too, so that we can share this offering Okay, we're going to sit down together and eat this meal because I'm so appreciative for what God has done for me. Let me go back. Burnt offerings general, right? The grain offering is for what? Dedication and commitment, right? Now, how many of y'all thank God just for the church? Listen, I'm talking about the organization of the church. How many of y'all thank God you got a church to come to? Right? I love this church. I love it. I love all of y'all, and I love what we do together. I'm glad we got a church. Y'all follow what I'm saying? That's that grain offering. Peace offering is I'm at peace with God. I can pray to him. I can talk to him, right? And we share it together. The sin offering, this one is what? For what? Sins unknowingly. Okay? Now, I usually leave my laptop here so that Trevor can have us already set up so when I walk in the door, we're ready to go. But I forgot and I took it with me. Did I do that on purpose? That's unknowingly, okay? And I possibly could have slowed the whole process down, okay? What is my job as pastor? What am I supposed to do? Teach and instruct, right? But here I am, Uncle Billy, being absent-minded. I didn't mean it, but I'm absent-minded, took the computer, slowed us down. We started late. That was wrong. But I can't do nothing about it now. The time is what? Gone. So the sin offering, there is no what? What do you do when you pay somebody back? Restitution. There's no rest. There's nothing I can do about it. It's a sin I did unintentionally, but I cannot fix it. Everybody understand that? What's the next offering? The guilt offering. Okay, the guilt offering is when you've done something unintentional, okay, that caused harm to a situation, right, or to individuals or to the church, okay, but you got to make it right. All right, now you don't want to make it right. God said, no, make it right. Okay, so you have to bring what? An offering. And then he said, not only that, but you got to what? Add to it. You got to add to it. All right? Now, the guilt offering. Now, and then we talked about what? The offering for the firstborn. Y'all got all the offerings now? Now, let me say this to you. Jesus died for all of that. So even if you committed a sin, unintentional, it's already paid for. So all we do now, listen to me now, it's already paid for. So you don't have to stress out. Like, man, I wonder if I did something and didn't realize it. No, it's not going to be held against you. It's not going to be held against you with you and Jesus because Jesus already died for the whole list. Now, you may suffer some what? Consequences. Now, this is what we don't want to hear. If one of my grandchildren drowned in the swimming pool at my house because we were sitting there looking at television, and the TV drew our attention. And we had the doors locked, but they figured out how to what? Unlock it. We thought they were right there in the room. And then one of them come running in talking about the other one in the pool, and we get out there and they're dead. We are going to jail. Did y'all not know that? Negligence. Now, but I'm crying my heart out because I didn't do it on purpose. I didn't mean it. God will forgive. It's already forgiven. He already paid for that. But I'm going. Come on now, I'm trying to talk plain to you. I'm going to jail. If I back up and run over my grandchild, now I got to preach it. Because we look at the law and we say, they wrong for that. No. But you as an adult has to be responsible. Okay, you can't let TV drag your mind off. Now, we refuse to chastise our children because we claim we love them. And then when one of these unintentional things could have been avoided simply by following God's rules, right? Spare the rod. Come on now. If you spank them, like I did with Journey the other day on the pamper, all right? She learned how to what? Sit down. Okay? So some of it can be handled on the front end. Okay, that's why God tell you to chastise them. So that when they have those thoughts, that pain you put on them will be a what? Reminder, don't do that no more. Oh, no, I want to do it, but I'm not. Now, that happens to adults. God said, those I love, all right, because he said, I said, stop it. Don't go over there no more. But you can't get it. So God got to help you out. Anybody got some help? Raise your hand if you got some help. Some of y'all ain't never got no help. Keep living. God's going to help you out. Okay? God's got a way of changing your mind. God's got a way to help you see it differently. You may see it one way now, but when he's done with the chastisement, you get 20/20 vision then. Anybody got that 20/20? Some of y'all still 20/30. But just keep living. God's going to give you the 20/20, and you'll see it the way he sees it. All right. All right. I just want to cover all of that. But Jesus paid for it. Paid for it. All right. Let's go on. Now let's move on to our next big subject, special days. Now we're going to be looking at days. Every week we're going to be looking at their holiday calendar. Okay, now we have holidays, okay, and God got so frustrated with them, eventually he's going to tell them he hates their holidays. Because the holiday is not about God. Now, the word holiday comes from holy day. That's where the word comes from. Holiday comes from holy day, and the world don't want to call the holy days no more. And they use the word holiday. They're so foolish. Are you still saying holy day, dummy? Right? Because that's where the word comes from. Holy day, holiday. All right. Now, we're going to look at their days and get an understanding of what God is doing with them. God had to tell them specifically what he wanted. Okay, let's look at the first one. The first one is, y'all see the list? Let's read the list first. Everybody read together. All right, now, let me help you now, because some of us don't understand with God and your relationship with God. Let me help you understand some things. Your relationship with God is not your relationship with God. It's God's relationship with you. I was at the seminary, and I explained it like this. I said, my wife says it like this: my money is my money, and your money is my money. Did y'all get that? Who's running the relationship? She says, what's mine is mine, and what's yours That's the same way God is. God said, I run this. And it's got to be my way or what? You don't have input in this relationship. If we're going to have a relationship, it's going to be the way I say it's going to be. So that's why we got to learn all of this so we can never understand it, because some of us don't even know the Bible and talking about we got a relationship. The reason we go out on dates. Now, some of y'all got dirt on y'all mind when you're going out on a date. Listen to me. A lot of young men go out on a date and they already have preconceived in their mind. They got some dirt in their mind. And this young lady say, oh no, that ain't why we going out. And that's why you may go home disappointed. Because you had the wrong idea when you were going on the date. Y'all can say amen. Listen to me now and try to get what I'm telling you. The young lady said, no, we're going on the date so you can get to know what I put up with. You need to get to know me because I don't play all of those games. So if you are a Christian and you don't even know what God requires, how can you claim you got a relationship? You making that up. You making it up. God said, do it this way, or I don't want to have nothing to do with you. I hope y'all hear me. So they got people who say, I'm going to church only on Sunday at 10:30. I'm going to sit way in the back, and I'm going to use my phone while they're teaching. You don't have no relationship, that's why. Because if I went out with Tammy and sat at the table and took my phone out the whole time we was at the dinner and didn't say a word to her, she ain't say a word to me, and I'm on the phone, that ain't no relationship. That's why some men prefer to go out with their boys than their girl. Because at least they talk. They ain't talking about much, but they talking. That's why some young ladies rather go out with some of their girlfriends, because they have good conversation. They have a better relationship than you have with your boyfriend or girlfriend. Some husbands and wives are just living together. The same relationship they have with God is seen in their own house. They have no relationship. They're just married by paper. Some of you are joined by God by paper. I signed up at Pleasant Valley. I'm with you. Didn't I sign the paper? Didn't I walk up there with you? Didn't I walk down the aisle, get a rev in my hand, and gave Sister Carr my name and address? Didn't I do that? I said, I don't know you. Who are you? I don't even know you. This is your first time talking to me. You don't know nothing about me. You could have been here 50 years and still don't know God. God determines the relationship. And most of us, our relationship is self-centered. I have a problem with a wife who's in a relationship for all the man can do for her. He's supposed to take care of me. He's supposed to do this for me. He's supposed to do that for me. That ain't a relationship. And God's got a problem with you if you're only here to get what you can get out of him. Some of our prayers have nothing to do with what God wants. You're not even interested in what God wants. You're only interested in what you want. And that's because you're American and you think you deserve all of that. If Trump keep talking crazy like he's talking, some of y'all will realize what a real relationship is with God. And God allowed things to happen so the relationship can get better. The relationship is not right. So listen, he's telling them these holidays are for the relationship purpose. You done made it all about you. Christmas. What do we do now? Is it about God? Or is it about us? It's about us. And that's indicative of how we carry our life. We count our blessings by what God have done for us. But what do you do for him? Can anybody in here raise their hand and say what they do for God? If we had to make a contrasting list and you put what I do for God and what God do for me, which side of the list would be long? Sitting in the Bible class don't impress him. Putting a suit on and a tie don't mean nothing to him. He called Israel, he pulled them out of slavery and said, I will be your God and you will be my people. And this is the task. Save the whole world. Now you say, if you follow me, I'm going to bless you for doing so. Hello, somebody? Some of y'all just in it for the blessing. You're just in it for yourself, and you know it. You know it. You don't care about witnessing to nobody. The whole religion experience is about you. It's about you. You're not interested. So let's look at it. Come on, Trevor. The Sabbath day. What is the Sabbath day? Let's see what God is doing. Let's see what he's doing. All right, go ahead, Trevor. Come on. Israel is commanded. They're what? That's the kind of relationship he has with you. He commands. Erica, he don't have to ask you to do nothing. First of all, you don't know enough for him to be asking you something. He don't even want to hear what you got to say because you don't know what to say. So he's commanding them to do what? You don't even have enough sense to do what? You don't know. Then you was a slave for 430 years. All you know is work from sun up to sundown. That's all you know. Those people weren't concerned about you resting. Let them catch you resting. They hit you with something, right? He said, commanded to rest on what day? Seventh day, and keep it what? And holy means what? Set apart from the rest of the days. That's all that means. It don't mean go around acting spiritual. It means this day is different from the other days. That's all holy means. This day will not be conducted like the other days. Those who desecrated, look how serious he is now. Look at the commandment now. Look how crazy this is. He's commanding you to rest, and if you don't, I'm going to kill you. Look at it. I want y'all to try to get an understanding when we're talking about a relationship with God. It ain't what you think. Those who desecrated ought to be put to death. Go ahead. The Sabbath is intended to remind Israel of two things. God did what? God did what? Everybody scared to read now. Come on now. Get into your Bible class. God created the what? In what? And then he what? Now, do y'all think God was tired? Do y'all think God even get tired? But on the seventh day, he stopped. He said, that's it. Secondly, God has a special, come on now, relationship with Israel. The rest of the world is doing what? What the rest of the world doing? Come on, y'all sleep. What the rest of the world doing? Worshiping what? They doing any and everything. And remember, a God meets your requirement. If you choose your own God, you're going to make it meet and set it up to what you want. So if they wanted to have sexual relationships with many women, they made the God fit that. That's what the gods want. Oh, how convenient. That's what you want. Y'all follow me? But this God has a special relationship with Israel. Go on, go on. Each seventh day belonged to the Lord. Now, we worship God on the first day of the week. Who can tell me simply why? Just simple. No, that ain't why. That's what one of the apostles said anyway. Jesus didn't say that. Why do we celebrate or why do we have church on the first day of the week? Yes. Huh? No, that's not why we have it on the first day. We can learn about God. Tonight, Wednesday, we learn about God. Why the first day of the week? Huh? No, Saturday was the seventh day. Y'all thinking too hard about it. Y'all thinking too hard. Why Sunday? Christians, why Sunday? He rose. That's the only reason why. That's the only reason. There's no magic to it. He rose on the what? First day of the week. So now we worship on the what? That's it. Don't get into no argument with nobody. Well, you see, because the moon go down and twists around the sun, all that's a lie. It's only because he rose on Sunday. So we call that the Christian Sabbath. Y'all follow that? Because he had fulfilled the law through his death. So we're no longer under the law. He fulfilled it all. So we celebrate on the first day of the week because that's the day he rose. Simple as that. Nothing else. All right. Now, but look at the Old Testament. The seventh day what belonged to who? So the first day of the week ought to belong to who? I'm asking you Christians. The first day of the week ought to belong to who? The Lord's Day. The New Testament writers call it the Lord's Day. That's the Lord's Day. So that's a holy day. What holy mean again? Should be different from what? Other days. That's all. But how serious do we take that day? How committed are we to that day? Let's go on. So would not be a what? Come on, y'all done got lost. Come on. Would not be a what? What else? But set apart for what reason? So God was doing this for you. Look at the relationship. It's a give and a what? But look at the second part. Now, we don't mind that part. Thank you, Lord, for the rest. I need the rest. You know me, Lord. So some of us stay home on Sunday. Lord knows I need the rest. But that ain't all of it. You're supposed to rest in here. Now, some of y'all rest in here all right. Y'all resting too much in here. All right, not that kind of rest. All right, time devoted to what? So on that day, it wasn't meant for them to sleep all day. That's not what he meant by rest. All we think about is, I need more rest. Most of us don't do nothing at our job. And y'all know it now. Y'all got pencil pushing job. And we tighter than the people of the 1950s who worked all day with shovels. My grandfather said he load a whole dump truck, come home, do work around the house. We at work pushing a button every now and then. Come on, like, oh God, oh Lord, I'm so tired. I'm gonna wash some dishes tomorrow. House nasty, grass high. I worked all day. You didn't do nothing. Just lazy. Tell your neighbor you're just lazy. That's the truth. You might as well be honest with yourself. We don't work. We don't even know what work is. We got lawnmowers that pull themselves now. Oh, Lord, I got to walk behind this lawnmower. It's wearing me out. You ain't even pushing the lawnmower no more. Craig got a tractor. Ride on the lawnmower. Woe out when he get inside. Ooh, I had to cut that grass. We just lazy. So it's not that kind of rest. On Sundays, he's talking about rest from the usual. The usual. This day is different. I ain't getting up going to the job. I'm going somewhere else. I'm doing something else. I'm focused on something else. I'm resting from the normal. Y'all following what I'm telling you? We got to have a workshop on that. Ain't that something? This how you wash a dish. Lord have mercy. Come on, next. The term Sabbath comes from the word Shabbat. Write that down. So when y'all go visit other churches, you can say, it's the Shabbat. Y'all could be fancy. To rest or cease from work. To rest or cease from work. Y'all got that? Come on now, learn it, learn it. Okay, go ahead. They got it. So we're talking about a historical president. All right? The term Sabbath, look at me use Shabbat. Sabbath means to rest or cease from work. Now this is historical because the rest of the world is just like the world is today. Get all you can. Oh man, they got them extra hours. I'm going to make that money. You forgot about God. See, that's the thing. People think it's about just the idea of making the money. It ain't about just making the money. You've taken God out your schedule. You told God, I'll get to you when I can. I got to make this paper. This is what it's all about. He said, take one of your days and let it be between me and you, our relationship. That's our day. We're going to sit down. We're going to talk together, fellowship one with the other. I mean, that's Friday nights, Mike. Right? You work all week, you got to take the lady out at least on Friday night. No, babe, no, they call me, I got to do this OT. This OT going to be good for the house. All right, babe. I'll see you when I get home. If you sleep, we'll talk tomorrow morning. Oh, but I got to get up early and get to the other job. What kind of relationship is that? What you want, woman? We got money in the bank. You want everything. I'm paying the bills. But I never see. See, that's what I'm sick of y'all. You women get on my nerve. You want everything. Didn't I tell you go shopping and get you something? But you never with me. I'm working. That's what we tell God. I'm taking care of myself. Don't I send some money over there to the church? Goodness. The more hours, the more I can send to the church. What's wrong with you, God? You want everything. You have no relationship. In a relationship, you will miss. Listen to me. How many of you are truly in love? See, the problem is you may have gotten married for the wrong reason. You wasn't in love in the first place. My father said you was in lust. And now you in this situation. But God said, love them. Husbands, I don't care why you got married. I don't care what the reason is. A command. Husbands, love your wife. See, Lord, I just don't feel it. I didn't ask you how you felt. Love don't have nothing to do with feelings. Tell your neighbor it has nothing to do with feelings. See, that's y'all problem. Y'all watch too many soap operas. But don't you know in the soap opera, every other month they with another man? So what you watching that mess for? How is that your example? Ain't nobody in love on that. They love for 1 month, then they cheating. So why you use that as a love example? That ain't love. Love is commanded. Love is action. Love your wife. So if you love your wife, take her out to eat. Hello, somebody? If you love your husband's women, cook the man a meal. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Let your girlfriends talk you out of loving your husband. Girl, you stupid. See, that I wouldn't be cooking all that chicken. You the one crazy to let them talk you out of loving your husband. It ain't got nothing to do with how you feel. It's obeying God. And you love by action. Hello, somebody. Come on. I'm like Craig. Hello, somebody. Look at 12. Then the Lord said to Moses, say to the Israelites, you must observe, you what? Must observe my Sabbaths. This will be a sign between me and you for the generations to come, so you may know that I am. What kind of relationship with this? I am the boss. That's what Lord means. Who makes you holy. The only reason you Negroes going to heaven anyway is because of what I done. You ain't earned it. I'm good. You ain't nothing. You don't deserve nothing. One preacher said, you do deserve something. I'm sorry. Hell. That's the only thing you deserve. He said, now I'll tell you, keep it. Spend some time with me. You need me because you're half crazy. Some of y'all all the way crazy. That's why you didn't smile just now. You need me in your life so that I can keep your thinking straight. Because what you're thinking, you think is right. But you're not right. You're unappreciative. You're using all my stuff. Even the strength I put in your body. You're using all that I gave you for yourself. And you don't want to spend no time with me. Hello, somebody? Y'all mighty quiet. I don't know what's going on in there. Go on to the next thing. Observe the Sabbath because it is what? Holy to you. Anyone who desecrates it is to be put to death. In other words, anyone who don't think that spending time with me ain't worth being alive. If you think you can go and live your life without me, life will show you Listen to me now. Life gonna teach you. Because even nature itself shows that I'm God. The sun worshiped me. The moon worshiped me. The tornado brought glory to my name. Everybody on TV was saying, it was the Lord. It was the Lord. God spared me. Everything worships me. If you think you can make it without me, go ahead. Go on ahead. You'll see. And the death I'm talking about, some of y'all ain't, you say, Reb, I ain't scared of dying. I ain't talking about that death. The death I'm talking about is permanently separated from God. You can make it without me, you're going to find out. In hell, permanent separation. David was rich, wasn't he? Lazarus was poor. Y'all know the story? David was living it up. He had insurance. Come on now. He had insurance. He could afford it. Lazarus didn't have no medical insurance. He didn't even have food stamps. He didn't. He was out there wishing he could eat the crumbs from the man's table. But when they died, and they both died. They both died. Tell your neighbor, you're going to die now. That's for sure. One of them went to Abraham's bosom. Where the other one went? Where he went? Did he take a stop? Did he stop at a drugstore? He went where? Straight to hell. Come on now, I'm trying to talk to you. Put it back up there, Trevor, so they can understand that. Now y'all can see, all right? Put them to death. Those who do any work on my day. That's why relationships don't work today. More of our young people are not even getting involved because they don't want to be committed to that. They can't be. They got too many friends now on Facebook, and you know, I see couples married sitting together not even talking. They both phone. They love the phone more than they love each other. I get upset. I'm jealous against the phone with Tammy. I am. I said, every time I get trying to talk to you, that phone come up. I got a problem with that. That's one of the kids. I don't care who it is. It's my time. Yeah. See, y'all don't even know what that means. I'm jealous of anything. I'm jealous, especially when I want to be with her. And y'all come Sunday, I got another message from the Lord. I got another one. Those who do any work on that day must be what? Y'all heard these words before? On the phone? It's over. What? What you said? I'm breaking up with you. What? It's not working. What you mean it ain't working? Erica lied. Say, it ain't you. It's me. All right, but listen. You don't want God to tell you it's over. Because when God says it's over, he said, don't fear man who can destroy just the body. But fear God, rather fear God who can destroy both body. When I say it's over, it's over. Amen. So Sundays, listen to me. You got to be bold enough sometimes to say, look, man, I don't need that extra money. If it's going to interfere with my relationship, How many of you pass up on money to spend time with your wife or your spouse? Like, nah, man, my old lady, we already planned something. But, dude, I'm talking about some extra money here. Man, money ain't everything. Money ain't everything. That's why we see the rich splitting up. They love the money. They love the fame. They don't love their spouse. Donald Trump's wife, in my estimation of it, I'm just telling you how I see it. Y'all may see it different. The lady just didn't look happy. I mean, come on now. You the president of the United States. Could y'all see Tammy walking? I'll be like, Tammy, slow down. I'm the president, my goodness. That girl be walking. I have some problems on my hands. She'll be on CNN. You see, this is the way I see it. But damn it, you don't supposed to be talking on the news. This lady standing in New York, her face expression. It just, see, all of that don't mean nothing. Now his staff is getting into it with him because he embarrassing everybody. Now they getting into it behind the scene. They are embarrassed to death. All right, that's it. We got to stop.